A horrible day 5 years ago left Debbie Primo traumatized.
And every day I relive it, and this is my burden.
She got a call from home that her 19-year-old son Courtney had taken his own life. Unable to work for months, she was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder, now compounded by what she says is a lack of understanding of what she's going through.
I feel like if this nightmare that started is just continuing, like there's no peace, I'm not getting any peace. I'm not looking for sympathy. I'm just looking for a spot that I can work.
Primo's work is inherently stressful. She's a corrections officer, previously at the old Toronto jail and more recently here at the South Detention Centre. PTSD is a common complaint among her co-workers, but she claims that she's had continual problems in getting her employers to recognize how it's changed her ability to do her job.
Backed by documentation from her doctor and psychiatrist, she's asked not to be assigned to oversee prisoners who are considered suicide risks. But still, she was given the duty and was on shift when one inmate killed himself at the Don jail. Earlier this month, she got a letter from her supervisor arguing that her medical evidence is not strong enough and threatening her with dismissal if she doesn't show up for her shifts.
It's everywhere. I don't understand how people don't understand what this is.
The corrections minister would not comment on her specific case, but we did ask him about the employer's attitudes towards PTSD.
We do have programs in place to assist officers who have been diagnosed with PTSD.
A spokesman for Primo's union, OPSU, says some provincial institutions now have joint management labor committees to help assist officers with PTSD adjust their duties. But it hasn't come yet to Toronto South Detention Centre.
OPSU says overall the ministry's attitude towards the disorder is getting better, but that there's lots of room for improvement. The union official I spoke to quoted an American-based study in which Ontario participated, which found that 32% of corrections officers suffer from some sort of work-related stress. He also said he's aware of 3 Ontario officers who committed suicide last year. Leslie?
As we continue to do our reporting, we get those shocking statistics. But what about legislation in this province that could help first responders? What's the latest on that, Sean?
There's actually been a private member's bill from an NDP member, Sherry DeNovo. It's been on the order paper for about 4 years now. Just recently reintroduced after dying on the order paper with the election. It calls for a faster processing of WSIB claims, what we used to call workers' compensation claims for first responders. We're talking EMS, firefighters, and police officers. But the OPSU official pointed out that until now, it's left out corrections officers, and the union is busily lobbying Ms. DeNovo to add that to her private member's bill. But I point out, a private member's bill, still not a government bill, so some question about whether it might ever see the light of day.
We will continue our reporting on this subject. Thank you, Sean Mallon, up in the newsroom.